Hi folks, and welcome to another video. I hope this one finds you enjoying your simming. I kind of mention that at the conclusion of most videos, as much as a reminder to myself as to anyone else, to always be enjoying it, and if you're not, to stop doing it. Do something else or do it differently. Life truly is too short not to enjoy this hobby that we call flight simulation. What have I got for you today? Well, the aeroplane on thy screen, yeah, it's the TBM 930, stock aircraft in the sim. Does anyone have much interest in this aeroplane? I don't know. I do. I like it. This aeroplane, for me, represents a bit of comfort. It's like slipping on an old pair of jeans to step on board the TBM 930. Resplendent here in the Sounds Air livery. It's a beautiful, beautiful livery. That livery, yes, does give it away. Our location. I'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, so really just a bit of comfort flying today. Nothing really to show you. Nothing really to talk about. Just an old fella taking up a familiar bird that's treated me well. It's given me many, many hours of enjoyment on a journey in a country that has given me a lot of joy, both in the virtual sense and in real life over the years. And I guess if today's video has a theme, it's probably joy. I'm going to share with you a content creator during the course of this video. He oozes joy. He's walking, talking joy. I'm going to share that with you. And in sharing it, maybe it'll change your day in a positive way, if that's what you need. I hope that's what this channel does. That's what I try and do. It's an escape. It's entertainment. I try and enjoy myself. Sometimes it's a bit hard. Sometimes I think I fall victim to a bit of negativity, or things get to me a little bit. That comes through on some videos. But not today. Today's about joy. Let me show you the flight plan, folks. And here we are in little nav map, and we have company today. I've got the GA traffic thing running. I'll try and link to that in the description. I forget what it's called. It's a GA traffic mod, AI GA traffic mod thing. I've got that running, and it's generating some traffic up around Palmerston North, for example, up around Masterton, probably in Welly, yeah, down here, and we're kind of north of Wellington. We're in a little place that I'm going to pronounce incorrectly. Of course I will. But I believe this place to be called Paraparaumu. Paraparaumu. Or Pram for short. That's what locals call it. Pram. So I'm going to run with Pram, because even I will have difficulty in mispronouncing Pram. But yes, that's where we begin our journey. And I don't know whether I featured this place on the channel before. I've certainly flown in here a number of times. Got a single strip, 1634. Looks like we've got some traffic joining us. A couple of DA40s. We're parked here. Yeah, and we've got a nice little flight. Nice duration, about an hour. Yeah, just over an hour in the TBM. We could probably do better than that actually if we cruised higher. But anyway, we're going to go down VFR at 8.5, which will give us a nice close-up view of the terrain, of which there is much to appreciate on this journey. So south out of Pram, kind of skirting the northern area, or the northern region of Wellington, Greater Wellington, hugging the coast essentially. There's lots of wind turbines in this part of the world. Before we cross the strait, being Cook Strait, overhead Cloudy Bay airfield, and then basically up the valley here to stay, well, hopefully stay visual with the terra firma. Lots of nice beautiful hills, some of them with white stuff on top of them. Lake Haupiri, the airstrip there is on our route. Osolo, Idero, before we touch down in beautiful Mount Cook. Beautiful Mount Cook, surrounded by stunning lakes and mountains and just absolute gorgeousness is to be found in that part of the world. So basically from the bottom end of the North Island, in Paraparaumu, just had to get that in one more time. My apologies to my Kiwi folk for my mispronunciations. Down to Mount Cook. As I said, flight time of just over an hour. We're going to go down at 8.5. As I said, VFR. Whether conditions will be VFR en route is another question, but you can see the vertical sort of display down the bottom here. It gives us clearance even over terrain until kind of the end. We might have to, once we get around Mount Cook, we might have to do some of that pilot shit and navigate our way through valleys. And I don't know what the weather is looking like on Mount Cook. I don't know that we get an accurate weather. No, we don't. The weather is as the weather will be. That's to be sure. That's the flight plan, folks. We're in the TBM 930. This is an FS economy run. We're flying 3 VIP packs in the TBM 930 today. Let me get us started and let's get on our way. Right, so welcome on board. You've joined me here at the bottom of runway 34 here in Pram. So we've got a straight out departure, left turn at about 500 feet before taking up our track towards Mount Cook. First waypoint is Taxiv. That's 3 miles away from us. I think we're pretty much right to go. We've got flaps set, we've got trim set, we've got landing lights coming on, the other one coming off. We've got our altitude plugged in. I think we are good to go. So let's do it. Introduce some juicies and get our 3 VIPs on their way to Mount Cook this morning. Beautiful aeroplane, this one. And we'll call that power set at about 96. Airspeed well and truly alive. And we'll kind of rotate around about there because she does want to go. And up we go into the bars. Positive rate and all that. Nice northerly breeze helping us get away this morning. Retrimming. Beautiful. Sort of take flaps around about there, and we'll call that close enough to 500 feet. As we begin our left turn onto track, beautiful island of Kapiti Island. This is the Kapiti coast, this region, but that is Kapiti Island. Coming through our 12 o'clock position, folks. Beautiful part of the world. This one, Kapiti coast. Alright, safety, we'll get rid of that flight director for the time being. Climbing at a leisurely 2,000 feet a minute, 160 knots. I'm liking that. We'll hand fly this for a little bit. In fact, I might hand fly it all the way to sort of cruise. Georgie, I'll give you the first segment off, mate. What do you reckon? She flies so nicely. I guess it's so familiar, I should say. There'll be people who argue this thing's not real and this is nothing compared to the black square TBM 850 thing, which I don't have. There's a lot of aeroplanes I don't have. This is all the TBM I need. I might have said something similar to a few women over the years as they've been walking out the door. You know, I thought I was all the man you needed. only for them to not only walk but then start running, realising that they needed a lot more. Oh, who can blame them, eh? Who can blame them? I eventually found a woman for whom I was enough, and that's maybe the secret to a long-lasting and satisfying relationship. There, kids. Find someone to share your life with where you both represent enough for each other. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is without flaw. You have to learn a level of acceptance is a healthy thing in a relationship. Didn't plan for the video to go in this direction, folks. Philosophical direction, the actual direction. Yes. I think we're heading in the right area. Up through 180 knots. She flies well. Quite nicely. We'll intersect that magenta line kind of by the time we get to Whiskey November 504, which is a waypoint on an approach or departure path out of Welly, wouldn't it? Wellington 504. Those of you that fly in this part of the world, fly instrument approaches and departures, may recognise it. We go up through 6.2 now. We'll kind of intercept the magenta at that point. Accelerate to about 200 knots. Not in a rush to get to 8,500 today. We're going to be above the cloud by the looks of it. We've done all right there. Yes, joy, folks. Joy is the theme of today's video. It is possible to find joy in relationships, including long-term relationships. It is possible, kids. But it doesn't just happen. There's some work required. There's some understanding required. There's some growth required. There's some maturity required. That's my dad advice for the kiddies out there today. Work on yourself before you worry about other people. And if you're able to work on yourself alongside another person who's also working on themselves, then you can find joy in that experience. Up through 7.2 now, almost 8.5. You probably didn't believe me that I was going to hand fly it all the way to cruise, eh? You probably think the old fella, he normally gets Georgie doing most of the work, and well, he does. Georgie's very reliable. He's a much better pilot than I am. Much better pilot. I don't dispute that, but occasionally I like to do some actual hand flying to prove to myself that while I'm losing some of my faculties, I haven't completely lost the ability to control a pretend aeroplane. I've still got that going for me, folks. Up through 7.8. Here we go, we're doing alright. 208 knots. We have an en route time forecast of 1 hour and 4 minutes at this time. We're carrying enough fuel for about 2 hours worth of flying. Looks like the weather clears up once we get over the strait. Nice. Breeze is holding up pretty steady, 13 knot northerly, up our date. There's 8.5. Might go flight director on at this point, Georgie, and we'll go autopilot. That's just to help you, mate. And we're going to go nav hold for you as well, champ. That's all right. Then you'll allow me to take an external, looking down at the good folk of Wellington. Ah, she is. Just a shout out if you happen to hail from this part of the world. Always like hearing from my Kiwi friends. Anyway, folks, safely away. Capiti Island there. We leave Pram behind. We begin our crossing of the strait. I'll rejoin you somewhere during the cruise. I want to share that that other example of joy with you before we make an approach and landing in Mount Cook. Alright, so just approaching the small town of Haupiri. This is Lake Haupiri, and there is an airstrip over there, 12 o'clock position. We are in just beautiful country, this part of the world, the Haupiri River flowing through. It's just gorgeous as far as the eye can see. Absolutely beautiful. Not long to go now, folks. We'll be on the ground probably in about 25 minutes from here. Thought I might show you the thing that I've been kind of signposting a few times throughout this video, an example of joy. So let me show that to you. Right, so I'll kind of do this in form of split screen, if you like. If you want to watch some beautiful Kiwi scenery, there's an opportunity for you to do that. I've got the sound turned off in the sim because I actually want to play a clip from this guy. So this is TikTok. I didn't realize you could actually view TikTok content without having TikTok, the app, but you can. I'm not a big fan of TikTok, don't get me wrong. I'd spend 0.0000001% of my life watching TikTok. However, this guy, Francis, the railway enthusiast and mechanical engineer who loves trains, is worth a view. I want to share this with you because this guy gives me a smile every time I discover or am suggested by a post somewhere that I should watch one of his videos. I want to show you, I'm going to play it for you, hopefully I don't get sort of copyrighted. I want to show you this one down here, mega surprise at the end. So I'm going to shut up while this plays through.
I'm about to see two absolute legends of the British railway network, 50007 and 50049. They're quite old, but they're still doing some quite important jobs. They're going to be taking a class 458 from Bournemouth up to Widnes Transport Tech to be refurbished. Right, here it comes. Thank you! 007 on the rear. Oh, right. I'm gonna jump on a service now and chase them to Basingstoke. We passed them at Waller's Ash Loop, and soon after they bombed towards Basingstoke. Oh my word, it's flying. Oh my god. Go on, Matt. Yes, Matt. Oh yeah. Oh my god. That sounded even better then. Oh my rear toes. Oh my god, that's... I can't get my words out, that's fantastic. I'm about to see two absolute legends of the...
The world needs more of people like Francis. So it started to get very bumpy in the last couple of minutes. We're about 50 miles to the north of Mount Cook at this time. It's been a beautifully smooth flight. Look at the sky, clear weather, all the way pretty much from Wellington. But yeah, just sort of in the last 5 minutes or so, things have started to get a little bit rocky. We're rocking and rolling, Kingy and I, all over the shop. We've got to find a way through that to get ourselves down to Mount Cook. I'm planning, sort of, I've penciled in an approach to runway, I think it's 3, is it 3-1? The orientation at Mount Cook, I think so. It's a northwesterly strip. 3-1 is going to be the plan. We've got a pretty strong sort of northwesterly blowing at this altitude. I'm going to assume that it will continue. So 40 miles to run, and this is where the beautiful display comes in handy, because we're going to find some valleys, right? A couple of valleys, a bit of a fork there, right? Probably take this valley on the left-hand side, on the eastern side, and then sort of make our way down. We may have to do a kind of circle to land thing, but we'll work that out when we get there, which won't be long from now, folks. I'll see you for those concluding stages. Alright, concluding stages, folks. That would be Tasman Lake in front of us there, and Mount Cook. At least the airport is around the corner, which has been a bumpy descent. Bloody hell. I've tested Kingy's ability to remain still without a seatbelt. Yeah, Mount Cook in the distance there, folks. Definitely landing runway 31. Got Georgie doing the flying at this time. We'll point him towards the field. 7 miles to run down through 5,000. The field becoming 12 o'clock. Hopefully the field is not obscured by the white stuff. Been a very enjoyable flight. Always enjoy myself. Find enjoyment in the simple pleasure of being able to indulge in a hobby that I might give Georgie the rest of the day off. Thanks, champ. Indulge in a hobby that has meaning to me and is so accessible now as well. So, I mean, not Francis level of joy. That's not what I'm experiencing, but I still enjoy myself, folks. I wonder if everyone who finds the videos on this channel do enjoy themselves, based on some of the comments or the reactions, dislikes, unsubscribes, all of those sort of things that come through. You do wonder sometimes. So we'll basically look to cross the field at the upwind threshold, and then kind of make a left circuit. Geez, there's a lot of snow on the ground. Very hard to see. It's quite a thin strip. It's long enough, but it's a thin strip. Glen Tanner down the road there a bit. Another great place to fly into. It's a beautiful part of the world. Just experiencing a permanent ice age. at least here in the sim anyway. There we go. We'll consider that upwind threshold crossed. Runway 31. No traffic around by the looks of it. So it is lonely for our arrival. We're plenty slow. Got to turn by the road. Oh, there's some stutters starting to appear, isn't there? Oh, more stutters starting to appear. Not happy with that. Still enjoying it. Just would enjoy it a little more without the stutters. Consider that sort of late downwind for 3-1. Take flap and also take gear. And we'll probably begin the turn, I think. Kingy. I don't think I've ever made a particularly good landing in any sim at Mount Cook. There's just something about the place. Probably if I flew a somewhat normal circuit, it would help. That might help. I don't know. There's the strip. We're going to be high, Kingy. We're going to have to do some pilot shit to get down here, mate. Some of that slipping stuff. We'll take pull up, yeah, getting all the warnings here. Now equipped with that fancy GPWS, so we're in a little bit of trouble. recoverable. We're slowing them down, which is going to help. Wow, we're good. Have faith, folks, have faith. There's 90 knots. Nice headwind for us. Runway 31 at Mount Cook. Nice and slow. Here we go. Oh, still not a particularly good landing. We bounced it, going to a little bit of reverse. Get off at the this taxiway. There we go, folks. Welcome to Mount Cook, New Zealand. Thank you for your company in another video, folks. And above all, the message of this video has been to find joy where you can. Don't let the negativity and the negative Nellies get you. Be more like Francis. Find your inner Francis, as I try and find my trusty rampage in here, folks. I'm actually going to park an aeroplane on a video, hey, just for something different. Oh, we screwed that up. We've absolutely mangled that. There we go, Jude lookalike. Thank you. Thanks for your company, folks. Until we next meet, you stay well, enjoy your simming, and bye for now.